Somehow I forgot to create video on one real piece of shit who is deeply involved in cover up on monstrous murders of my family. He was Minister of Health at that time, and he's now again Minister of Health. So it says here that he is Minister for second time Minister of Health. Nova is pro-Western media. That's him, this moron. You can see by his stupid face that this is a moron, with one of the drug lords during Slobodan Milosevic era, so-called Zemun clan of criminals. Zemun is a city in Serbia. So he is called, as I just explained in a video I uploaded here. This is related to his affair with another piece of shit who is also involved in cover-up of monstrous murders of 3 members of my family, which also includes posing 3 kids. So I mentioned some things about him here as an introduction, but I'm now going to finish it up. So this article, for instance, explained why they call him Dr. Death. He was a hitman for mafia, killing enemies of that mafia, as I said, Zemun clan, in the hospitals by injecting something into them. So I don't know if there was one guy, it says here only one guy, but I don't know if there were more. So they call him Dr. Death. And this is also interesting article stating, explaining or giving details on 10 catastrophes on which we will remember Minister Loncar. So this was in 2022 when he stepped down as Minister of Health. So this can be seen in my YouTube channel. A lot of doctors are involved in both murdering or in cover-up of monstrous murders of 3 members of my family. They were poisoned by a monster, and the doctor finished them off. Even doctors for Belgrade are involved. And this piece of shit, who is lawyer of the hospital in Smederevo where my father died, Svetlana Stojkovic, she claimed that she has the personal guarantees from this piece of shit. At that time, Minister of Health. So she gave her guarantees that she can ignore my request for information. I was trying to save my father. I failed, unfortunately, because there is a huge web of corruption, and they're all related to mafia and so on and so on. So it is really hard to fight on your own. So this piece of shit told that other piece of shit lawyer at the hospital that she should not give me information I asked, pieces of information I asked, because I needed them to move my father to the nursing home. This was the only way to save his life. I could not take care of him because she was in such a state that she needed professional help. And I explained that in other videos, how social workers also participated, and that other piece of shit, Darya Kisic, she was at the time the minister for social affairs, or maybe it was actually that was later, but it was her duty to fix issues of people who were ministers in that ministry before her, as I said. So I also wrote to both to that ministry and to Ministry of DA, Demography and Family, something like that. So she was both minister in these two ministries, and she didn't answer, of course. I also mentioned that she her so-called scientific papers are total rubbish. That these are basically questionnaires and so on and so on. But go back to this piece of shit. Her lover, ZLATIBOR LONCAR, again currently Minister of Health for second time, and his PhD is also questionable. I'll try to find some. And this is about his credentials from magazine tabloids, so-called opposition, but they are fake opposition. I mentioned them in my videos related to illegal arms trade. So they are forcing the story about so-called deep state when it comes to United States federal government involvement. I mean, they are behind illegal arms trade in Serbia and Western Balkans. So there is no such thing of deep state. There is only government, and state and government are two different things, which I'm not going to explain now. I will create a separate video again about him. So a lot of ZLATIBOR LONCAR, also known as Dr. Death. He says here that his fake PhD of medicine and so on and so on. So this, he destroyed health system in Serbia. That piece of shit, criminal. I mean, you can see by his face that the guy is a moron. But he's good for this criminal government. Most of pieces of shit from this government and parliament are not Serbs. They're lying that they're Serbs. They're not Serbs. And the ones who are even below mediocre level. So piece of shit who wouldn't be able to work anywhere in any work. They wouldn't be able to do any serious jobs and so on and so on. So this is why they are doing. I mean, it's pretty stupid plan, but it works obviously. And this is not just case in Serbia. It's in other countries as well, especially in Eastern Europe and Western Europe. No, I meant Eastern Europe. I want to say Western Balkans. So this is especially the case in Eastern Europe. Okay, so the last thing I want to mention about this piece of shit, ZLATIBOR LONCAR, is one of my videos where I don't know if I mentioned him, but it is my call to BBC, and you can see here that YouTube is pushing this down. I mean, when you search something, title of the video should be searched first when you search something on YouTube, and then description and so on and so on. So this is the video. I don't know if I mentioned him here, but this video is a picture of director of state intelligence of this time. I call him Cigano Shiptari, or Shiptaro Cigani. So I don't know. I think he's now again Minister of Defense, this criminal piece of shit. So United Nations gave him power by allowing him to. So this is that article, which can be seen here. So this is my Skype call to BBC. Director of State Intelligence. Okay. So he's unable to come into power by none other than piece of shit from United Nations, as they let him smuggle coffee during their sanctions over civil war in former Yugoslavia in the 90s. He signed IPAP with piece of shit from NATO as a counter favor. Brief reminder for NATO. Okay. So I haven't mentioned here really that piece of shit launcher, but he and this moron who was at the time Minister of Defense, I think he's again Minister of Defense, I need to check out. So they call him Brother Santos because his coffee brand was named Santos. He also faked his education achievements. Okay, let's see what's his current role. So this is all faked. So it says here, at that time when I report him, he was director of state intelligence, not military, but state intelligence, called the Security Information Agency. So this agency, they didn't have a name agency, both state and military, before fall of Milosevic. So when so-called pro-Western government came into power, or governments, they changed it to agency. Before that, they were called service, or from secret service, obviously. So agency doesn't really make sense because agencies here are something like agencies for travel agencies and stuff like that. So it really sounds stupid, but this is what their masters from foreign embassies ordered them to do. So again, this is extremely stupid name. The same goes for two military intelligence services, so they are also called agencies. He was the minister of, that piece of shit was Minister of Interior. So I have a video here. Okay, I don't need this anymore. I have a video here also about him. And two other pieces of shit, yeah, here. So these three pieces of shit were both ministers of defense and let's see. I think that all three of them were both ministers of defense. This first one, I know that he was Minister of Defense. These two were ministers of defense. I'm not sure if he was Minister of Interior, but anyways, when police was intimidating me as a witness of international organized crime on 2 counts. Here is the video. He was that piece of shit Cigano Shiptari or Shiptara Ciganim. This guy was Minister of Interior, and according to Wikipedia, from 2nd May 2024 this year, he is Minister of Defense again. Okay. Yeah, Minister of Defense from 2014 until 2016. He resigned because he has some inappropriate comments about journalist, female journalist. So as can be seen in that video I showed about these 3 ministers, they are deeply in international organized crime and pieces of shit from international organizations, UN, EU, and so on and so on. Know really well about that, but they pretend nothing is happening. So this guy and that other guy launcher. So as you can see, YouTube is putting this on the bottom because it is really compromising video, as can be seen. I'm calling BBC here. So this guy, this piece of shit, and that other guy launcher, that moron, they were this moron, they were responsible for a helicopter crash where I think something like 7 people died. It was a military helicopter, and 5-day-old baby died because they wanted a helicopter to land on Heliodrome, where was really hard to. It was really bad weather, and they wanted they wanted a helicopter to land to the place where journalists were waiting to photograph them. This piece of shit and that other guy launcher, another piece of shit, and it can be seen in a recent video. Here's that scandal where he resigned. So in recent video by pro-Western media, it can be seen here that pro-government media at that time even reported that baby was saved. So baby died in that crash, and most of other people, I think it was 7 of them, pilot and technicians and doctors, most of them were military. A pilot was I think military major, so they died there. So baby died because this piece of shit wanted to be, just because they wanted to be photographed. Automatic sword. And they were of course basically not prosecuted, and pieces of shit who are who protected them are from higher instance prosecution of Belgrade, who are deeply involved in cover-up of monstrous murders of 3 members of my family, which includes, as I said, poisoning of 3 kids, especially this piece of shit who was at that time Bojana Savić, who was at that time anti-corruption prosecutor. She is, according to articles in the and photographs, according to news articles and photographs, she's supposedly protected by ambassadors in Belgrade, in the first place American ambassador, US ambassador, but I don't think that can help her, because, and all her colleagues, you can see how many videos are there on their cover-up. I managed to involve them in illegal arms trade as well. So I managed to involve them even in illegal arms trade. I'm trying to find the video. So there should be a video here. Okay. So yeah. So those illegal arms that are sent from Serbia to some areas where war crimes are committed. I mean, those arms were used in areas where war crimes are committed. So I filed crime report about that to prosecution for war crimes, but they forwarded that to higher instance prosecution of Belgrade. Yeah, here it is. Oh no, it's involved. So I managed to involve higher instance prosecution of Belgrade in illegal arms trade and war crimes. So there is also a video on that, and the guy is Ivan Markovic, I think. So prosecutor from prosecution of war crimes in Belgrade. Yeah, there he is. He just forwarded, and of course they don't want to give me a decision on that. Still, today is 23rd, I think, of the July 2024. 23rd of July 2024. They still don't want to send me, not just them, but all prosecution and courts and state institutions, even private companies, foreign companies, don't want to send me a single piece of information, maybe just some notification, but that's it. So no, I haven't still received a single case from all who are involved in cover-up I mentioned about monstrous murders of my family. So I managed to involve this piece of shit who also covered up the murder of 7 people, mostly military members, and 5-day-old baby, as I just showed that video. And they are also, that prosecution, Hernis's prosecution of Belgrade, are also involved in another major crime, which is the Jovanjica drug trafficking scandals of Serbia. So I'm trying to find English version about on that. So here is, this is N1. as can be seen in my videos on illegal arms trade, especially videos of emails I sent to FBI, DOJ, United States DOJ, then I also sent it to AG, Attorney General, and the Senate. So they are major co-conspirator of cover-up of illegal arms trade in Serbia and Western Balkans. And this N1 is pro-Western media. They're basically branch of CNN in Serbia. So CNN is involved in cover-up of illegal arms trade in Serbia and Western Balkans, which is not surprising, of course. So these are details on that indictment, on that scandal, and some people claim that this was controlled breakout. This was done on purpose to hide. There are tens or maybe even hundreds of places like this where they grow marijuana underground. So that would be it regarding. I went a bit off topic, but this is all connected. I just wanted to show that this is all international organized crime. I have now 52 cases of international organized crime related to Serbia. So 52 cases, some major crimes, and of course piece of shit from United Nations, EU, OSCE, and so on and so on. No NATO, of course. They know everything about that, but they're using Serbia as proxy for their dirty work. So this was international. So marijuana was sold to other countries, which it is impossible that international institutions, of course Interpol, Europol, and so on and so on, it is impossible that they don't know that. And this is especially important when it comes to Jeffrey Epstein scandal now, because some people really wanted to their 15 minutes, so-called 15 minutes of fame, and who knew Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. Again, I'm going off topic, but it is related. So they wanted their 15 minutes of fame, and they told some information, piece of information, where proves without any shadow of a doubt that Jeffrey Epstein operation was running for almost 30 years, something like 28 years. So it's not 10 years like Conchita Sarnov said, or 20 years like Julie K. Brown said. It's 30 years. So it is impossible that all those mentioned international organizations, institutions, and so on didn't know. Of course, I also mean international crime, International Court of Justice, ICC, and so on and so on. So it is impossible that they didn't know, and they're currently trying to cover up Jeffrey Epstein big time, especially from after this grand jury transcript release. But that's not the major thing. So the major thing is what happened with Maria Farmer after she reported everything in 1996. So this is where she reported. The FBI contacted her in 10 years later, in 2006. They of course did nothing, as we all know, and I give more details here in these two videos I recently uploaded. And this is also important. This video is also important. So all these international institutions are in deep trouble, as well as US government, who is behind this. They were at the top of this. Even Russia is involved This is why you have this so-called this stage war in Ukraine, first major conflict in after Second World War, and of course another very important thing. Maria Farmer reported Donald Trump, that piece of shit, in 1996, that he was there for a girl in some building. It was 9 p.m. That famous sentence, she's not here for you. Epstein, Trump, Maria Farmer, Daily Mail. I mean, even Daily Mail wrote this. So she said Epstein told Trump she's not, it should be she's not here for you. Okay, I need to create video on this because Daily Mail covers up a lot of things here. So so there are even two she's not for you, she's not here for you, and Daily Mail. So there are two pieces here. I cannot open it because recently there are some advertisements which have scams, so this is why I cannot open it. I'm not using this machine for content which is not secure. So anyways, I will create video with more details on this. So there are two articles on how Maria Farmer reported Donald Trump in 1996, that Epstein told him she's not here for you, when she was running and was in the office, I don't know, Jeffrey Epstein. So it was 9 p.m. as far as I remember, but again I will create video with more details. And then Donald Trump was, as it says here, ogled. She was ogled by Donnie, and then Epstein stepped in and said she's not, oh no, she's not here from you. So there was some other girl who was, because at that time Maria Farmer was something like 25, but she looked really young, and this means that probably at that time there was some other person which was for Donald Trump. And of course this will destroy his chances for as a presidency, as a candidate for president again. This thing with his granddaughter would not really help, and of course these other pieces of shit like Senile Joe, I think that he stepped down now, and this other piece of shit, Kamala, this, I call her Tsigani, rough-faced Tsigani, stupid, disgusting bitch, disgusting bitch. So both she and Senile Joe Biden, they're also involved in cover-up of Epstein scandal, worst scandal to hit the humankind. So international children sex trafficking and children prostitution ring. Again, even Russia is involved, and these are not rumors. These are official information, piece of information from open court. So I don't know who will be president, because both Senile Joe Biden and that stupid, rough-faced, disgusting bitch Kamala Harris, I recently watched. I didn't really know this thing with Tulsi Gabbard or whatever her name is, when she exposed who Kamala Harris is. I mean, it was really shocking when I learned that Kamala Harris blocked, when she was, I think, prosecutor, blocked evidence that would release someone who was waiting to be, who was sentenced to death. I mean, this is real monster. But she will now go to jail together with Senile Joe because their job, ex officio, was to order investigation of what happened in related to Jeffrey Epstein scandal. And I don't remember that none of the two even mentioned Jeffrey Epstein scandal. So that was their job ex officio. That was even their job because Jeffrey Epstein scandal was started receiving attention even in 2015 when Virginia Roberts Giuffre. So J is a natural speaking sound. It's not Giuffre or Giuffre, it's Giuffre. J is a natural speaking sound. It's a combination of D and Y. So as in buongiorno for people who speaks Italian. So it even started receiving attention in 2015. That was when Senile Joe was second man in of the states of United States. I think he was secretary or vice president, something like that. So at that time, it was also his job, ex officio, to, and of course Obama, another piece of shit. They will all go to jail. So you can count how many governments, all of them will go to jail for cover up of Jeffrey Epstein scandal. So this is only a very, very small part of what happened within Jeffrey Epstein scandal. So even Russia is involved, and not for a year or two, but for I think 6 years. Again, this is information from open court. Now I'm talking about something that's really off topic, but this is for all these people. I know that they will watch my video, although YouTube is brutally blocking me and decreasing my views, which I explain here. They're doing still the same thing, and they cannot fix their issues with faking everything. So this appears to be, this might look as it is off topic, but it's not. It's all related, because it also means that all these pieces of shit who are involved in cover up from Serbian state institutions, hospitals and so on, prosecutions, courts and so on, it also means that they will not be protected by their Western and Western European masters, because their masters are in big trouble. And again, this is just a small part of what's coming. Very soon, way sooner than people expect. Okay, so that would be it regarding that moron, Dr. Death, ZLATIBOR LONCAR. And to conclude, none of these things with doctors and hospitals could not happen without him knowing. Of course, he never answered, but we'll see what will happen in days to come.